This book is called Goodnight, Anne, written by Callie George, illustrated by Genevieve Godbout. This book is about a girl that, before going to bed, wants to wish everyone and everything she loves good night. Time for bed, Anne. Yes, Marilla, but not before I say goodnight. I always say goodnight to everyone I love. Good night, Matthew, shy and sweet. Thank you so much for the dress with real puff sleeves. Good night, Diana, my bosom friend. We're kindred spirits the moment we met. Good night, Gilbert. Well, really good riddance. I will never forgive you for calling me carrots. But I forgave Mrs. Rachel Lynde, and she forgave me. We both speak our minds, and we should mind what we say. So good night, Mrs. Lynde, dear nosy neighbor. And good night, Miss Stacy, my splendid teacher. When she says my name, I know she's just spelling Anne with an E. Good night, Bonnie, growing on the sill. Everything deserves its own name. And Bonnie is a much better name than just germanium, isn't it? Good night, my snow queen, all dressed in white. Listen, can you hear her talking in her sleep? What nice dream trees she must have. Good night, lake of shining waters. Oh, you always seem to be smiling at me. Good night, sky and bright, clear stars. If you could live on a star, which one would you choose? Or would you rather live in a tree? I do love trees. A wild cherry would make a wonderful bed. Anne Shirley, time for your bed. Yes, Marilla, sensible and strict. Sometimes, oh, how much you miss. But good night, Marilla. I love you so. Good night to all of my kindred spirits, and good night, Green Gables. You really are the dearest, loveliest spot in the world. As soon as I saw you, I knew I was home. Good night, Avonlea. Good night, Island. Good night to this whole dear old world. Time to sleep, time to dream. Good night, Anne. Anne with an E.